All right, we wanted to meet today to go over our survey to find out if our building is ready to integrate technology, go to the next level with technology. So I've made a copy of the questions and the results from the survey, so we're going to take a look at it. I didn't bring enough copies for everybody, but we'll share it and we'll kind of look at each question and see what we think. Are we ready to move on, or do we need to do a little more work? All right. So question number 1 is how would you rate your understanding of flipped learning? So it's at the top, and I printed it out as a bar graph. And so if they answered with a 1, that meant that they had no understanding of flipped learning. If they answered with a 5, it meant that they used flipped learning in their classroom, so they're very familiar. And so you can see from that most people were kind of right in the middle, which kind of means, well, I know what it is, but I'm not really using it, right? Is that what you would say? Mm-hmm. A couple people that didn't understand or don't know what flipped learning is at all. So, any comments about that, or is it kind of what you see around the building too, you think? Yes. Okay, you agree? The second question is, how would you describe the instructional practices in your school or district? And they printed out a nice little pie chart there. And it looks like it was about half and half. Half of the respondents said the instructional approaches throughout our district are inconsistent. So lots of different approaches. And the other half said teachers use systematic and explicit instruction and give students multiple opportunities to respond. So kind of half and half there. There were a few people that said that it's mostly a lecture style instructional practices, whether the teacher's leading the instruction in kind of a lecture style format. So, but mostly it was the other two. The third question was an open-ended short answer where they could respond with whatever they wanted to respond with. And it says, please tell us the greatest technology needed in your classroom, school, and district. And you can read through those. An application to help monitor students. I really wasn't quite sure what that was. Does anybody know?
Probably like Go Guardian.
Oh, to monitor their technology use? Okay. Training on my technology I already have in place. So training. Mm-hmm. Money for educational technology subscriptions. What do you think they're talking about there?
Like we get it paid for.
We have the free Kahoot, and you can play it teacher versus like the class. But if you wanted to challenge your kids and each individual kid do their own game, you have to pay $3 a month.
Oh, okay. So just money to have access to those apps.
We had some things that also paid for that we used. I don't remember what the programs were, but that will align with your curriculum and stuff.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Training on the uses of technology available. That's pretty self-explanatory. I need more training on technology. I already have in my room. Again, training. I need to do smart board. So having the things that we already have being good working order. Creative spaces. What do we think they're talking about there?
That's what I put. In college we did like Prezi and stuff like that, where students can go in and create their own presentation or like I can give answers and say, okay, take this information, give me something to work with. Does that make sense? Like they can create their own material.
Gotcha. So when I read that, I thought of something like a makerspace or STEM lab, something where it's an actual, but you're thinking more along the lines of technology. Mm-hmm. Okay. Dependable and easily accessible technology. I can't really see this on my glasses. So it seems like from that question that the biggest concern was more training, right? Mm-hmm. And making sure more training, access to more things, and making sure what we have is working.
Right.
Is that what you'd say?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, on the next page we have question number 4. Please rate the importance of integrating technology into the curriculum. And so it was just least important to greatest importance. And so more than half of the respondents said that they thought it was very important that we integrate technology into the curriculum. So only one person thought maybe not so much, but most of the people said yes to that. That it was very important. And then the last question, I would like more professional development on integrating technology into the curriculum in my classroom. And again, more than half of the people said yes, they would like more professional development, more training on that. So from this survey, I thought we'd kind of take a minute and think about what we think, are we ready to go forward? What's our overall kind of takeaway from this? Or what do we think that most people are kind of ready for more technology?
Probably
No.
not, because most of them already say they need more training on what we have now. So if we
Okay.
get more, we're gonna need training on what we already have plus what we get.
So
we
really
can
not,
learn.
so your overall takeaway is that we're not really ready to integrate more technology
Right.
because we're not, from this, you're kind of thinking, we're kind of thinking that they're not comfortable with what we have in
Right.
place at the moment. Okay, I think that, I agree.
Right.
What, you don't know how to use the smart word? Oh,
I
so,
don't even use it.
I don't
That's
use
the
mine all that
option.
often either. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then what should our next steps be then? If we're not ready, if we don't need to get more technology, or we're not ready to move up to a higher level of integrating more technology into the curriculum, what do we think our next steps should be?
Yes,
Get
planning
training.
training.
Planning, training?
Plan and train.
I agree. Planning, training, so
The
finding the money for that.
technology we have now.
And more training on the technology we have already in place.
Cause there's so much we can use with ours if we knew how to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Utilize it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's very frustrating when we get a new piece of technology and then they say, here you go, figure it out. So, more training on the technology we have in place.
And it wouldn't cost you anything really, because like, for instance, Taylor had a training on smartboard, so she knows how to, work a smartboard, so she can put on a training for the ones who,
Yeah, so we wouldn't have to spend any money because we can use the people in our building who already know how to use the
Right.
equipment and the technology that we have. That's a good point.
Well,
Ms.
then
Denny?
also like, in my situation, we were iPad people in college. Cause that's what everybody
And now
was
you've
going
moved
for.
all to
Everybody was
Chromebooks.
pushing the iPad and now everything is Google and,
Okay,
I mean, I'm not
so you're less
technology,
familiar.
I'm not technology dumb, but
But
it
again,
was like,
goes back
hello,
to-
here you go.
Yeah, so again, it goes back to just getting more training on what we have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think that's a good place to start then, working on, getting more training on what we have so that we make sure that everybody in the building is comfortable with what they have and can use what they have before we go to the next level of trying to change some things and integrating some more. So, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for this.